Hello, friends. My name is Reverend Thomas Harper, and I'm the pastor of St. Luke's United Methodist Church in Bryan College Station. And so once again, Israel and Palestine are in conflict with one another. And there's not really much I think I can add to this situation. I mean, the politics, the religion, the history, it's so nuanced, it's so thick and layered that it's just, there's not much that can be said other than the tragic loss of life. Leonard Cohen once was quoted as saying, "There's no decent place to stand during a massacre." And so talking about who are the good guys or the bad guys in this situation, I mean, it does seem like Hamas was the aggressors this time, but just like in all things, there are sides to stories, and good guys and bad guys when it comes to real life is never really that black and white. There's a lot of history here. There's a lot of politics. There's a lot of national conflict. There's a lot of religious and social implications involved. And I think in the midst of such a tragic loss of life, we need to be careful about that. And I'm not saying those things don't matter. Certainly they do matter. In fact, when I went over to Israel back in 2014, I saw both sides of this conflict. I spent a week with academic Jews that we were talking about interfaith dialogues and kind of their understanding of the situation over there. I spent another week with a group of Arab Christians living in the West Bank. So I got to see the perspective on the Middle East that I had not known about before I got there. So I get it. People are angry. People are choosing sides. People are lashing out. People are trying to make sense of this just devastating loss of life. Even if war may sometimes be necessary, it's pretty ugly. It brings out the very darkest of humanity. And I think regardless of the history or what position you might take during this conflict, I think we can all agree that civilian loss of life is a tragedy. At the time of this recording, we have seen nearly 2,000 people, about 1,000 on each side, lose their life. And that's really kind of what I want to focus on today. Just the tragic loss of life. All human life is sacred to God. And so we need to pray that this conflict will end, that there will be peace and just understanding on both sides. And really, when it comes to all that other stuff, kind of educating ourselves about the history in the area, not necessarily having to find established who's the good guy or who's the bad guy, just kind of learning both sides of the story, learning why they are here, what has brought this conflict to this point. Here are some books that I would recommend if you're interested in learning about the history of the Middle East and kind of how they've gotten to be where they are today. You can also watch a couple of videos that are pretty good at just giving you a crash course understanding of the moment. But I would encourage you to focus on the tragic loss of human life. Pray for the families and civilians on both sides that are entrenched in this awful, awful conflict. Because even if there are good guys and bad guys, even if there are enemies and allies, Christ told us to pray for our enemies. And so there's no real reason why we can't pray for both the people of Palestine and the people of Israel. In fact, I would suggest that Christ compels us to do just that. Until next time, friends, pray for the Middle East. Pray for the people that are wrapped up in that conflict over there. And don't take our peace for granted. Continue to love your neighbor well. Take care.